is from my solo record, Guitarland, and I'm going to talk about it. I got a real record deal. It was quite a while ago, but it was a real record deal, and I got a $50,000 advance. I spent all of it and more, and with good reasons. I mean, the best part of the spend was I built myself a studio that I was able to use years and years after that. You know, teach a man to fish, you can fish for a lifetime. It's one of those things. I also paid my friends very well, even though they all gave me great deals to work on the record with me. It was a collaborative thing, and I'm going to talk about that. But first, I want to talk about the record deal. So I sent out a cassette with 3 songs to a bunch of business people. A really nice gentleman named Patrick Rains took an interest. Patrick Rains managed Al Jarreau, David Sanborn, Joe Sample, and now he manages Jonathan Brooke. Really a prestigious music manager. He had just gotten some money to start a label. He liked what I did. He gave me a shot. He gave me a chance. He said, let's do it. He sent the record deal. It was totally traditional. I read through it twice. I understood every word. I've always said that if you took a record deal to an attorney outside the entertainment business, he would tell you 2 things. He would say, this is not legal. And he would also say, you're a fool if you sign it. And the reason is this. Some of you may know, some of you may not. I'm sure the deals are similar these days, but back then they were selling the record wholesale for $6. My $50,000 advance had to be recouped at my royalty rate, which was $1 per record. What that meant was I would earn my first dollar after 50,000 records were sold. At that moment, they had earned, the record company, ostensibly, theoretically, would have earned $300,000 on the wholesale sales of their records at $6 per record. Hence, what is that, like a 500% profit? So, and you know, there's some extra money spent for artwork and lunches and promotion and stuff like that. But still, by the time you earn your first dollar in a record deal, a traditional record deal, the record company has made a small fortune. And then you're also bound. I think my record deal was like 4 records after that. And the advance went up, I think, $10,000 each year for every subsequent record. But I thought it was a really good shot and a good chance. And I understood every word of this deal. And I did it anyway because it was a great shot and a great opportunity. And this is how it was done. It probably still is in some ways. Now, the other thing is a record company as a partner, they can put you on a shelf and promote somebody else's career. So it's not really fair to sign that contract in that regard either, because what if a couple of years later, they're not promoting you anymore and they're promoting the other artists? How is that fair as a partnership? So in some ways, I'm glad that the record business has changed and these deals are probably not as prevalent, but I was grateful for it. Pat gave me a shot. I made a great record, hired a lot of my friends to do it. I did it in my spare time. Now, I need to talk about what happened before this record just a little bit. In 1990, I did Toy Matinee, and I did a video about this. The link is below. Check out the video. But I want you guys to hear a song from Toy Matinee because Kevin Gilbert and Brian McLeod helped me with my record 3 years later. And so check out, just for a second, this clip of Last Plane Out from the band I was in 3 years prior, Toy Matinee.
Trees are all cleared. No time for a conscience, and we recognize no crime. Yeah, we got dogs and Valvoline. It's a pretty damn good time. Man of reason, not of rhyme. Keep the spoils and share the crime. Hey, go to them and falls without hope for passage on the last plane out.
Okay, so let me give you a quick rundown of where the money went. So there was the ADAT studio. I had 3 ADATs and a BRC, which was their fancy controller. It was amazing. I bought a Neve mic pre, 1 channel of Neve, so I could put my guitar through that. I bought some microphones, some monitors, But then I paid my friends. I paid Bob Marlette to produce it for me. He did wonderful drum programming and keyboards. I paid Walter Clisson to mix the record. I paid a mastering company to master it. It might have been Bernie Grundman. And I paid Kevin Gilbert and Brian McLeod. I paid John Pierce to play bass on it. John Pierce is the bass player in Toto right now. You can check him out. He was a good friend of mine. Same name, not brothers. Paid Kevin Gilbert to record Brian McLeod on drums at Kevin's studio. Kevin had a fabulous studio, got a great drum sound. And on those same sessions, I had Kevin play a beautiful piano and mellotron part on I Made It So. So let me just show you that right now, and then we'll talk a little more. Here we go. So that's Kevin's piano. And there's organ in the background right now too, Hammond organ. And in the bridge you'll hear mellotron. Here comes the Hammond. The chorus. Here's Kevin's big moment. It's so beautiful. What he invented. The mellotron, real mellotron. Check out this majestic piano right here. Hear the mellotron swelling in. And that's the mellotron with tapes running in it. Check out this ending. So the money went to my friends who were all giving me great deals and charging less than their rates for the work they did. So I spent more than the 50. I paid taxes on the 50. That's just the way it works. I knew that my job was to make the best record I possibly could. Now, the reason I did this record is because I was a backup musician doing some amazing things. I had done Black or White by Michael Jackson at that point, but the real thing that pushed me over the edge, I did the Bodyguard soundtrack. Now, there's a link below for that and for the Toy Matinee video. You should check them out. I did the Bodyguard soundtrack, which I think is still the biggest selling soundtrack of all time. And soundtracks were made in a way that they didn't give musicians credits. All the credits went to the songwriters and the producers and engineers because there was just no space on the CD. So this record, I would show up, and the songwriters I'd worked with had like platinum awards with like 18 platinum records, and my name was not even on it. And it was a trigger. I'd been wanting to do this for a long time. Any musician who backs up other musicians, you guys feel this too, you kind of want to do your own thing. And I had written some really nice songs with other singers, so a lot of the melodies you hear on this record came from my friend Mark Spiro, who I wrote a lot of the songs with, and other songwriters. The idea was for the guitar to be the lead singer. So what pushed me to do this record was just being in the background all the time and wanting to step out. So it was really a bucket list thing. I'm really grateful I got to do it. I'm lucky I got to do it. Oh, and before we move on, look at some of the artwork. Here's the actual cover, right? Okay. Here's the back cover. And check out this. This is a test for the CD package. Now we misspelled a name, so we had to correct Brian McLeod's name. Here's some other options for the back of the CD, right? And here's some photos from the photo shoot that have turned yellow over time. I was a much younger man, though I'm blissfully happy these days. I was definitely working really hard. Musicians tend to work 7 days a week, double shifts, and I was no exception. I did this record in my spare time, doing sessions constantly, and then on weekends and the odd afternoon or evening off, I would work on this record. So it was a double shift kind of thing, and that's not unusual for musicians. Musicians work really, really hard. I want you to listen to my favorite solo from this record. It's on a song called One Desire, and I'm playing through a stereo Leslie effect from a Dynacord rack unit. And so check this out. Just it's a short solo, but I think it's my favorite one on the record. I almost forgot to mention there is a special offer on the Masterclass. The Masterclass is up to 1,800 videos, 150 hours, brand new 100 video beginners course, and I just added a 19 episode exercises series so that, just like spider exercises and stuff to get your fingers going. I've always wanted to do that, and we just added that. So it's in the theory, techniques, and now exercises category. So click the link below if you want to take the 14-day free trial in the Masterclass and see if it's right for you. Now, somebody mentioned that there is a copy of Guitarland on Amazon for $83. You don't need that. Guitarland is streaming right now on Spotify and on Apple Music and probably other places too. Just stream it. Just listen to it. Grab it for free. This is a record deal that was never recouped. So no matter what, if you buy it, the money is going to, I think, Orchard Music, and I'd have to look it up, maybe Universal Music. They tend to gobble up, all the little labels over time. So don't worry about me getting paid because it'll never happen anyway. I never recouped. And so just get it wherever you want. Get it free, stream it. I'm really, really proud of it. And there's no reason not to just grab it anywhere you can. I'm going to play a little bit and then we'll talk a little more. Here we go. This is a loop that I created from I Made It So. It's in F major. Oh, and real quick, somebody asked about the riff at the end. Now, I had a capo on for that, but he's probably talking about that thing I did, or I did. It's this really simple riff with the capo on, so it's in the right key. And I had a question about that, so that it's actually very, very easy. It's a cool riff. So it's in F major. And it's still my favorite kind of music. A lot of what's in the Masterclass is based on teaching melodic soloing, and it's still my greatest love. Hey, shout out to Ben Coombs. We have a heavyweight on the chat. Ben Coombs, I see you everywhere. Love to meet you someday, man. And thanks for helping everybody out with their live streams. Thanks for joining us. Okay, guys, I want to talk about one other thing. When I moved to LA, prior to getting into all this, I moved in 1980, and LA was actually a very easy place to drop into at that point. I started doing rehearsals for $30 a rehearsal, gigs for $50 a gig, started meeting musicians, and at a certain point, I had $700 in my bank account, and I started buying gear. And I knew at that moment, if I could keep my bank account at $700 and buy gear, I was actually getting by in LA. And a few years after I was here, a bunch of stuff happened. I did John Waite's record. I did a record for Tawny Kane, Jonathan Kane's wife from Journey. And then I did a Rick Springfield record, and I joined Rick Springfield's band. So for 5 years in the 80s, I toured the world and did all the guitar, not all the guitars, Rick's a good guitar player, but certainly all the lead guitars and most of the guitars on Rick's records. And it really carried me through the 80s. Then in the late 80s, that ended, and I had to make a living somehow. So I started doing publishing demos, and that's what really taught me to be a studio musician, because I would sit there and do these songs and have three songwriters arguing over my parts and having to change sounds and parts constantly. And then I'd drive to another one and another one. They didn't pay much, but I was able to get by. And for 2 years solid, I worked super hard doing demos, and that's what got my skill level up. So by the time I joined Toy Matinee, I was a pretty good studio musician. Pretty good. I mean, the guys like Lukather and Landau still had it all wired. Michael Thompson, these people, Paul Jackson Jr., really wonderful guys in LA. But I was able to get there by doing these publishing demos and after a decade of being in LA. But LA was actually this incredible campus. When I moved here in 1980, it was like a campus of music. All the billboards were music billboards, and a lot of the buildings were publishers, and there were like 44 recording studios in one stretch on Magnolia and Burbank. It was music heaven when I moved here. So it was a really lucky time to be here. Let me start again. Still my favorite kind of music. So let's look at a couple of questions. Has carpal tunnel syndrome ever snuck in? There are little aches and pains that show up these days. They're minor right now. Now, 10 years from now, there may be more. So that's just something we'll have to face. But I'm doing pretty good. And as long as you keep a light touch, one thing that I really, really espouse right now is light strings. I use very low action and very light strings because I don't need for my hands to work that hard anymore. There's no real reason. In the 90s, I used 10 through 46 a lot because it was great for solid rhythm playing. But you can still do that on 9 through 42. And I've even put 8s on 2 or 3 guitars, so that might be next. I'm all for making a guitar super easy to play. I love jumbo frets. I love necks that are perfect. And I love super, super low action. Hey, Alan, Dadgad. Yeah, Dadgad. We talked about that yesterday. Dadgad is a great tuning for writing. If I was going to do an open tuning, I would go to Dadgad. And I recommend that to you guys too, because it's for writing. It's just amazing. A lot of the songs in the early 2000s were written with Dadgad tuning. So anyway, one more reminder. There's a special offer on the Masterclass, 14-day free trial. Just opt out if it's not right for you. Brand new Big Beginners course, brand new exercise series. Check it out if you want guitar lessons. Here I go. Oh, that's a good question. 7/8 Music. Did you use the same guitar for the entire album? No. Tons of different guitars. Les Pauls. I had an Eddie Van Halen Music Man that I wish I still had. I used that. I used a Tom Anderson Stratocaster. Tons of different amps. Marshalls, a Rivera. It was done in spare time over about a year and a half. So I was constantly trying different sounds, parts, tones. Every guitar I owned, I used on it. I used my acoustics on it. I used my mandolin on it. So yeah, tons of different guitars. Joseph, you're asking about the low string growl. Well, if you use the neck pickup on a Strat and you make sure that your distortion is not really distortion, it's more overdrive. Right now I'm using the MXR micro amp and I'm distorting the amp naturally. So I get the growl from having overdrive, that's natural, having the amp cranked up and using the neck pickup on the Strat. It sounds very, very clear. It's not hard. I haven't tried a Matchless Laurel Canyon, but I love Matchless. Oh, you just subscribed to the Masterclass. Thanks so much, Bill. It's you guys are supporting me greatly with that. A lot of my videos get demonetized because I use masters. I love that. I love using famous songs in my videos. In fact, this video is going to be demonetized by the owners of the record. It's kind of ironic. It's fine with me. But because I didn't recoup, I won't get paid. Actually, there might be some publishing money, like a half a cent or 3 cents that might appear on some statement somewhere. But yeah, so you guys support me through the Masterclass. It's great. So yeah, check out the special offer if you want. Oh, Wolfgang, can I put the loop of I Made It So in the Masterclass? Yes. It may have been you that asked me that yesterday, but I will put this loop on the live stream, Masterclass only live stream that was yesterday. Every time I do a video like this, I do a Masterclass only version the day before, and it's much more relaxed and drawn out, and we talk a lot. It's just a handful of people that show up, and it's really, really fun and really casual. So that is archived in the Masterclass, and I will put the loop there. These pickups, oh, you're asking humbuckers. What pickups do you recommend for humbuckers for clarity? First, let me talk about these. These are Lawlers that are the high output Strat pickups. And I love this guitar. It's a Nash. I've had it for a long time. And these Lawlers sound really, really good. And here I have a Sir backplate that reduces noise. I recommend this too if you want to get it. I'm sure he makes it. It's something that he installs, that he makes. I don't know. With humbuckers, just make sure they're vintage humbuckers. They're low output. Arcane Pickups makes great ones. Monty's in London makes great ones. Ron Ellis makes great ones, although they're quite expensive. The pickup technology is so good right now. If you want clarity from humbuckers, you could even get the PRS pickups. Just chase the ones that are vintage style and low output. So yeah, Hendrix. This is a Hendrix tone, absolutely. And I forgot to say that I'm playing through a 412 with speakers from 1970, so that's part of it too. You're absolutely right. Okay, so I'm just going to play a little more and talk a little more. Ellen, thank you so much for downloading the album. Hope you enjoy it. It's great. Thornbuckers, absolutely, guys. Lindy Fralin. That's what I'm saying. All of these companies have all reached this point where they make very open-sounding, vintagey, humbuckers. So I don't think you can really go wrong if you just choose the vintage style, the PAF style humbuckers. This song is called I Made It So. So guys, I've really enjoyed this. I'm really grateful that you have all shown up from all over the world for this. I've been enjoying the chat. I'm going to head out and start my day. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to end this by playing you another song from Toy Matinee. This one's called Jenny Lage. Hi, Steve Sterlacci. I love your videos. Go to Steve Sterlacci's YouTube channel. He's really doing great YouTube videos right now. I'm glad you enjoyed the record, Steve. And thank you for coming and allowing me to tell you the story of this record. I'll try and teach some of some of the tricks I used on it in subsequent videos in the masterclass. I really will. So thank you all. Suzanne, thank you for showing up. Everybody from all over. And we'll see you guys on the next one. I'm going to close out the video with a segment from the Toy Matinee video. The link is below. And this is the song Jenny Ledge. See you later, guys. Thanks.